500. Moving up to the Blues, Shane Dorrell, 371, a non-starter. Gareth Bott, number 41. Gareth suffered severe car damage at the World Final meeting at Hensford and is temporarily out of racing. Right at the top of the list there, Dave Beresford, 260. Sad to say that Dave's not with us due to a fire in the workshop which completely destroyed his equipment and his shale car earlier this week. Our condolences to Dave. He hopes to be back out racing next weekend. Meantime, they're rolling in under starters' orders for Heat 1. 16 racing laps ahead of them. They've got the green and away we go. And away around the first turn they go. Lee Carr's heading on down the back straight towards that pit turn. Jim Potter, one of the Blues, forcing his way through in 146. And the leader at the end of the first is Matthew Bennett, just in 413 from Phil Rogers, 116, and Vic Jordan in 332. Onto the infield goes Ian Daft in 16. Wally Pittom's blown a back tyre in 134, and he goes on to the infield and presumably out of the race. Stargrade drivers pushing their way through. Russ Humphrey and Andy Hodgson coming through the field. Mike James also battling hard in 417. Matthew Bennett continues to lead the way in 413. The two cars hooked up down the back straight could be Ian Daft and Vic Jordan. They've gone away to the infield. And the leader comes through down the home straight again. Matthew Bennett in 413 with Jim Potter second in 146. It's Des Chandler in third place in 213. Mike James working hard in 417. And alongside him, Andy Hodgson coming through nicely in 272. That's the top five as they go down into turns 3 and 4 and back on the home straight. With Bennett still the leader in 413. Potter second in 146. Chandler working hard behind Potter. And Mike James still getting the better of Andy Hodgson. Completing the top 6, it's Russ Humphrey. And in behind him, 7th and 8th are Andy Clark and Mark Gilbank. John Ankers has had some trouble on the home straight car 80, but he's back on track now. And Bennett still continues a quarter of a lap in the lead in 413 from Jim Potter, 146. Des Chandler third in 213, and under pressure from Mike James, who nudges Chandler aside on turn 2. Trying to go past him down the back straight, but Chandler gets back in front and now waits for the bumper, and there it goes at the end of the back straight, and it's Jim Potter who is pushed out. Out wide he goes and drops 2 or 3 places in the process. Mike James really dashing about in this one in 417. He's through into second place now, but up front it's still Matthew Bennett in 413, the leader. Bennett comes through from the pit turn onto the home straight. And it will be halfway next time round with Bennett the leader, 413. From 417, Mike James, and 213, Des Chandler. Andy Hodgson back in 4. Russ Humphrey still there. He's gone 5th. Jim Potter in behind him. Humphrey losing a bit of time down the back straight on that lap. And we go at the halfway stage with Matthew Bennett the leader in 413. Second is 417, Mike James, and third 213, Des Chandler. In fourth is 272, Andy Hodgson, with Russ Humphrey 5th in 113 and Jim Potter 6th in 146. 7th is 169, Andy Clark. 8th is Mark Gilbank in 21. And in 9th it's Phil Rogers, 116. They're the only cars left on the lead lap as the leaders come through, and we've got a change up front as Mike James goes to the front in 417. And he's pulling clear from Des Chandler and Andy Hodgson. The long-time leader Matthew Bennett has gone down to 4th. Bumpers go down on that back straight as Hodgson tries to shift Chandler from 2nd. He doesn't succeed that time. Tries again down the home straight, and Hodgson's got the inside line. They've got just 5 laps to run next time through. And we've got Mike James, the leader, 417, coming through from the pit turn and down the home straight with 5 laps to run. Second is 213, Des Chandler. In third place, it's 272, Andy Hodgson. And it looks as though there's something just dragging off that car underneath the back of the chassis, which could possibly be impeding his progress. Matthew Bennett running 4, Russ Humphrey up to 5th, and Jim Potter 6th. And James in 417, still clear. Chandler, Hodgson, Bennett, Humphrey. Shunt on the home straight, and it's John Ankers in trouble down there, car number 80. Looks as though he's had a brush with the fence with 3 laps to run this time through. For the leader, Mike James, who's going clear. Des Chandler holding second. Andy Hodgson is third. Bennett and Humphrey are 4th and 5th. Jim Potter is 6th. We're looking for 8 to go through to the final. And it looks as though it's Andy Clark and Mark Gilbank who fill the other 2 places. Just a couple to run this time through for James as he goes down to the Nottingham Road bend and clear. Andy Hodgson's forward progress has come to a halt in third place, where he follows Des Chandler down the back straight at the moment. Down into that pit turn they go. Chandler second, Hodgson third. And the one lap to run board is shown to Mike James up front in 4:17. Down around the Nottingham Road bend and onto the back straight he goes, with Chandler and Hodgson still battling it out for second. There's a battle on further back as Russ Humphrey tries to go past Bennett into fourth. Bumper flying on the pit turn as Hodgson tries to shift Chandler. It doesn't work, and in front of them Mike James checks the checkered. Des Chandler crosses the line second with Andy Hodgson third. Russ Humphrey's got the better of Matthew Bennett to take fourth place. Back in sixth, it's Jim Potter. That's the top six through. It looks as though Andy Clark has finished seven with Mark Gilbank eighth. Phil Rogers 9, and the first of the lap down cars will come home in 10th place. The minor place drivers come through at the end of the distance. So we just keep them coming to get the rest of the numbers down on the charts. Stu Silman grinding to a halt on the Nottingham Road turn in 4:96, possibly not completed the distance yet. And it looks as though they've all come to a halt. Still some places to be gained, and the alert ones keeping going, and back into the home straight they come. And reds please, Mr. Starter. Got the green, so away we go into this second heat. Once again, the first 8 to go through to the final. And we've lost Johnny Aldridge round on the Nottingham Road turnstile bend. Jeff Phipps also in trouble over there, and one or two others have found the water splash. And the lead cars come through. It's Trevor Davis in 300 who takes them around the Nottingham Road turn. 131 Richard Thornton sideways on and T-boned by Michael Ives between turns 1 and 2. 391 Andy Smith joins in as they go around that bend. Johnny Aldridge circling on the middle in 211. Down is 300 from 200 on the Nottingham Road turn. Owen Brown has taken over the lead position now in car 200 as they come through from the pit turn and through down the home straight. Barry Heath's gone to the infield in 343, but it's 200 Owen Brown who leads. From 300 Trevor Davis and 364 Gary Lenton. Bill Wilton is 4 and Dave King 5. Stevie Hodgson 6. Rob Cowley and Warren Hunter are next in line as they go down the back straight, and the Stevie Hodgson front bumper working hard. Pushes Phil Wilton out down towards that pit turn. The leaders have gone through down the home straight. And two of the blue tops who've been really flying in recent weeks, 31 Dave King and 172 Stevie Hodgson, marking their impression on the race. Up into the top 5 and still going through, and there goes the bumper down the back straight as Hodgson tries to shift King. He does just that and gains a couple of places, and King in all sorts of trouble down on that pit turn now. Caused problems down there, and I think Frankie Wainman was one who's gone down the pit turn. Back at front, it's 200, Owen Brown the leader. Dave King has retired the infield now and bailed out of the 31 car as the leader comes through down the home straight. 200, Owen Brown. In second now, it's Stevie Hodgson in 172 with Warren Hunter third in 20. Trevor Davis is next in 300. We've lost Andy Smith, 391, spun out down on the pit turn. Rob Cowley's coming to a standstill down the back straight, number 73. Stargrade drivers having a rough time of it in this one. It's halfway next time round, and Owen Brown leads them in 200. Back into the home straight, and at the halfway stage, 200, Owen Brown leads the race. This is Heat 2 with Stevie Hodgson through in second in 172. Third is number 20, Warren Hunter. Back in fourth place, it's Mark Duxbury in 234 with Trevor Davis fifth in 300. Sixth is number 6, Phil Wilton, 7139, Stuart Smith. And in 8th place, 364, Gary Lenton. Behind them, 96, Glyn Dafton, 212, Frankie Wainman. Both trying to get amongst the top 8 and go to the final at the first attempt. White top, Owen Brown leads the way in 200 with Stevie Hodgson, a quarter of a lap adrift in 172. So we're not far off the closing stages now. It's just 5 laps to run for the lead car. Next time through, Owen Brown got some traffic to contend with now as he goes down towards the pit turn. Those back markers not impeding his progress at the moment, and Stevie Hodgson not getting closer as the white top from Leicestershire leads the way. 200 Owen Brown from Stevie Hodgson, 172, and Warren Hunter number 20. Back in 4th, it's Mark Duxbury, Phil Wilton 5th. 6th place, Stuart Smith has now retired to the infield, and Frankie Wainman's back in the places. So is Gary Lenton and Glyn Daft. Around the Nottingham Road turn goes Owen Brown in 200 with Stevie Hodgson getting closer in 172. Owen Brown unable to shift those back markers. They've gone out wide by the fence, those two, and opened up a very nice gap for him, but and dropped in behind him. It's Craig Howarth and Michael Ives, those low graders, having a little battle all of their own. And giving Stevie Hodgson a rough ride as Owen Brown continues to lead. They're down the back straight towards that pit turn. Craig Howarth putting the bumper in hard on the lead man. Craig Howarth at least 1 lap down on the leader as they come to the home straight. He's taken the leader away, and that puts Stevie Hodgson in front. They've got 2 to run, and Hodgson goes through in 172. Warren Hunter second, and under pressure from Mark Duxbury, who gives Hunter the big 1-2 down the home straight. Duxbury goes through, he's in second. Warren Hunter regains his composure and is back there in third. The luckless Owen Brown remains parked upon the infield as Stevie Hodgson goes on to his last in 172. So down the back straight he goes. Hodgson the leader, it's Duxbury second, Warren Hunter third. And Owen Brown not going to rejoin the action as the checker flag is shown. It goes out for Stevie Hodgson in 172. Second over the line is Mark Duxbury in 234. Finishing third is Warren Hunter. In 4th it looks like Phil Wilton with Frankie Wainman 5th and Glyn Daft 6th. And then Richard Thornton over the line in 7th, and we keep them going. Gary Lenton comes through, followed by Trevor Davis. Michael Ives putting the bumper in hard on Davis. And it's the minor place drivers completing their racing distance. And that's it, Mr. Starter. Reds, please. Up their grid positions, and shortly we'll have them underway. Mr. Starter gives them the green, and away we go racing with Heat 3. Once again over 16 racing laps, and we're looking for the first 8 to go through to the evening's grand final. A couple of them in the fence down there on the pit bend exit. Mark Webster and Ray Williams, the 2 involved. Back into the action they go as the lead car comes through, and it's Steve Smith in number 40. John Speed hurtles away onto the infield in 25, but he's looking for a gap in the traffic to get back on down the home straight. Lots of big names at the back of the grid in this one and trying to push their way through with little success at the moment. In fact, Bobby Burns and Neil Brigg have tangled up on turn 2, sorted themselves out. There's a head-on collision down the back straight as well. And back on the home straight, Steve Smith leads them through again in number 40 from Howard Davies, 327. Davies goes through into the lead position down the back straight. And down around the pit turn, it's Howard Davis then, 327 the leader. That looks as though it could be Junior Wainman on the infield, 515. As Davis leads them through from Steve Smith in 40 and Les Spencer 98. Tony Smith next, and then Dave Johnson, Andy Maynard and Paul Harrison, and John Lund working his way through the field. Tony Smith has tangled out, and I think it's Dave Johnson he's gone with down on the Nottingham Road bend. Howard Davis 3.27 leads them through down to turn 1 he goes from 98 Les Spencer and number 40 Steve Smith. Paul Harrison, the best of the Reds, is running fourth, but not far behind him is John Lund in 53. Someone gone to the fence down the back straight and left the back end of the car sticking out across track. It's 516 Guy Parker who's in the fence on the back straight, trying to get it straightened up and out of the way of the rest of them. The lead car goes past him. Howard Davis 3.27 down to the pit turn with some clear track in front of him to play with and try and expand his lead. He's through again down the home straight, Davis, with Spencer second in 98. John Lund is through into third. That's dropped Paul Harrison back to fourth in number 2. Looking further on back, it's Andy Maynard, William Yarrow and Bobby Burns, and then Steve Smith and Neil Brigg. And Davis, the leader, 3.27, takes us down the home straight. It's halfway next time round. And Davis from Spencer with Lund in third and getting closer. A bit of a shunt going on down the home straight with Bobby Burns hanging around in 4.71, pushing his way through and trying to join the leaders. But at the halfway stage, it's 3.27. Howard Davis who leads from 98 Les Spencer and 53 John Lund. Paul Harrison is fourth in number 2 with Andy Maynard fifth in 1.52 and Bobby Burns sixth in 4.71. Behind them in seventh place, it's William Yarrow in 22. Neil Brigg is eighth in 87. And behind them, the 9th and 10th are Dave Johnson and Steve Smith. The top three are now fairly close together. It's Davis from Spencer from Lund. Paul Harrison still in touch with them as well in number 2. And down the back straight they go into the pit turn. And this time through on the home straight, we've lost Howard Davis, and it's Les Spencer 98 who leads, and under pressure from 53 John Lund. They've got 5 to run this time through. So as they come through from the pit turn, it's Spencer and Lund 98 and 53 with 5 to run, and Paul Harrison still there in number 2. Lund trying to get by on the inside, and Spencer proving a stubborn opponent to get past. Spencer inches away from Lund down the back straight that time, but he's gone out wide on the pit turn. Lund trying to get past him on the inside. They're through this time with 4 to run, and still Spencer has the advantage over Lund. And Paul Harrison doing a John Lund, in fact, and hanging about in third place, hoping the front 2 go out. Down the back straight they go. They very nearly did on that occasion with Phil Bicknell getting involved. Paul Harrison gets in behind John Lund, and Harrison's had trouble with Phil Bicknell now. It remains with Les Spencer clear from John Lund and Paul Harrison. The boards are out. We're in the closing stages. So Spencer's still there, and Lund's still chasing him with Paul Harrison back in third. Bobby Burns has fought his way through to fourth, although he's some way back from that leading trio. They've got 2 to run as they come through this time. And Spencer still there with Lund getting closer to try and put the pressure on again in these closing stages. Off turn 2 they go, and down the back straight with about a lap and a half to run. Spencer the leader, Lund in behind, and Harrison dropping back again. Lund closes on Spencer. Still the bumper doesn't connect in a big way, and this time they're coming through and looking at the 1 to run. And still Spencer has the advantage over Lund. Down to the Nottingham Road turn. Spencer out wide again. Lund in behind him, and Harrison coming at the death as well. Down the back straight towards the pit turn they go. Is this the big one from Lund? He closes on Spencer, and he hasn't got close enough to put the bumper in, and Spencer's going to lead him home, and there's the checkered. A tumultuous reception for Les Spencer, who wins heat 3, followed home by John Lund and Paul Harrison, with Bobby Burns home in 4th. 5th man home is Andy Maynard. Coming in behind them, it looks like Dave Johnson to finish 6th. William Yarrow creeping towards the line in the 22 car as Neil Scotland comes through in 48. We got a flash fire down on the pit turn, and we're going red. Reds please, Mr. Starter. Now ready for your appreciation. A fine win there under a lot of pressure through the second half of that race from Sheepy Magna in Warwickshire, 98, Les Spencer.
they've got the green in this Consolation race. 200 Owen Brown is the first passer starter into the first bend. Number 8 is off onto the centre green, that's John Ankers. Steve Smith follows in quick succession, and 16 Ian Daft is in the fence here on the home straight, just past the starter. So it's 200 Owen Brown in the lead. 496 Stuart Silman comes through second. And there's a tangle up there. 25 John Speed into the fence with 116 Phil Rogers. And Craig Howarth and Ray Williams taking a detour onto the centre green. So back to the leaders, it's 200 Owen Brown fighting off 496 Stuart Silman. Oh, and there's trouble up there on the back straight. Jeff Phipps has gone in hard. 48 Neil Scuddens facing the wrong way. And the red tops have come through. Stuart Silman takes over the lead as Owen Brown pulls off onto the centre green. It's a bit tight on the back straight there with Jeff Phipps still blocking the line. And Wainman Jr.'s spun out here. He's spinning back into the race. So still Stuart Silman in the lead, gets shunted out there by a lap down Wainman Jr. Coming round to start lap 4. So Stuart Silman in the lead with Stevie Smith in second, Victor Jordan third, holding off Barry Heath in 3-4-3, 1-3-4 Wally Pittons in 5th, and 3-9-1 Andy Smith in 6th place. And on a charge, the bumpers are going to go in on this bend. Wally Pittons shunted right out of it, and Andy Smith is also by 3-3-2 Victor Jordan. Coming up now behind Barry Heath, who's certainly the man on the move. But Victor Jordan comes back and puts Andy Smith right out of it there. So the leader is still 496 Stuart Silman, who's enjoying quite a large lead now. Coming through second is 343 Barry Heath, and 73 Rob Cowley's come through from the back into third. Wally Pittons placed 4th, Victor Jordan is 5th, and Neil Briggs just moving through for that 5th place now. No, Victor Jordan chops him up down the back straight. Stuart Silman, the leader, comes round to complete another lap. Rob Cowley's through into second, Barry Heath third, Wally Pitton 4, Vic Jordan 5, and Neil Briggs 6. Stuart Silman again into the lead. Stevie Smith is lying second. Halfway, Mr. Starter. So the field's thinning out a little bit. Stuart Silman still enjoying this wide lead. Stevie Smith closing the ground a little as he detoured onto the centre. In third place, Rob Cowley is delayed behind the novice driver there. And Stuart Silman slowing right down here. He's lost his lead. He appears to be coming back into it now, but Stevie Smith is through to lead. And Rob Cowley's closing the gap all the time. Wainman Jr. trying to pull down lost ground from before. Still must be a lap down. Stevie Smith first, Stuart Silman second. 5 next time, Mr. Starter. That's with Stevie Smith in first down the back straight, past the dead Jeff Phipps car. Rob Cowley moves into second past Stuart Silman and comes to challenge Stevie Smith for the lead. So with 5 to go, Rob Cowley moves into the lead. Stevie Smith second, Stuart Silman third. Barry Heath 4th, Frankie Jr. 5. So Rob Cowley comes round with 4 to go. Stevie Smith second, Stuart Silman third. 5-1-5, Frankie Jr. 4th, and Tony Smith is still there in 5th. Bumpers going in as Craig Howarth tries to move past Phil Bicknell in the minor places. Coming round, 3 to go. Rob Cowley into the lead. Stevie Smith second, Stuart Silman third. Frankie Jr. on a charge coming past the starter there. Rob Cowley's tangling with Neil Scuddon and gets out of it well. 2 laps to go for leader Rob Cowley, and Phil Rogers is holding up the second and third. Frankie Jr. moving through past Stuart Stillman there, coming up to challenge Stevie Smith down the back straight. Rob Cowley moving round onto his last lap now. Stevie Smith loses out to Frankie Jr. on that bend. Stuart Stillman nips through. Smith is back in the running now. Rob Cowley past the dead Jeff Phipps car into turn 3 and 4 for the last time. Phil Bicknell spins in front of him, but he's through safely for the checkered flag. Rob Cowley wins the consolation race. Second looks like Frankie Jr. Third, Stuart Stillman. Fourth, Stevie Smith. 5, Wally Pitton. 6, Craig Howard. 7, Tony Smith. Keep them running, Mr. Starter. Okay, we can have the Reds now. Rob Cowley, for your applause, ladies and gentlemen, the consolation winner.
Roller whilst Mr. Starter grids Bobby Burns in correct position. 28 of them on track, 20 racing laps ahead of them tonight's grand final, the penultimate round of the Stock Car Magazine Grand Prix Series. Under starters orders for the grand final. That's the green, and away we go into the race. 20 racing laps ahead of them. Grand Prix points at stake and the big money at Boston tomorrow night. Gary Lenton leads them off in 3.64. Trevor Davis has gone on the home straight in 300. Track half blocked down there. We've lost 21 Mark Gilbank further on down the home straight. A lot of traffic around the Nottingham Road turn where the Blues meet the Reds, and we've lost Andy Hodgson down there, 272 facing the wrong way. Matthew Bennett's parked up by the fence in 413, sorting themselves out to go chasing the rest. And Gary Lenton leads them through in 3.64. Phil Wilton comes through second in number 6. Stevie Hodgson got a good break. He's third in 1.72 with Jim Potter next in 1.46. Frankie Wainman's been on to the infield in 2.12. He's rejoining. Les Spencer's been out on the pit turn in 98. Barry Heath and Glyn Daft have tangled at the end of the home straight. But there's the leader through again down the home straight. It's Gary Lenton in 3.64, going clear from Phil Wilton, number 6, Jim Potter, 1.46. Stevie Hodgson is 4, behind him Warren Hunter 5, and Paul Harrison, the best of the Reds, is through into 6th spot in the early stages. Des Chandler is in behind him in 2.13. Then it looks like Rob Cowley next in line, and then Junior Wainman. And the leading bunch come through again. Lenton, Potter and Hodgson. Wilton 4, Hunter 5, Harrison 6, Chandler 7. Cowley is 8, Junior Wainman 9, and John Lund is 10. So those early couple of lap accidents have sorted out the field, and those who went from the front end have mostly disappeared down the places, leaving some big names already into the top 10 places. Gary Lenton's gone out wide on the Nottingham Road turn, changing places down there, and it's Stevie Hodgson who's clear in 1.72. The leaders are now down on the pits turn, and this time through it's Hodgson the leader, 1.72. Potter second, Harrison third, Hunter 4, Chandler 5, Cowley 6, Wainman 7, Lund is 8. Phil Wilton is 9th, and it looks like Mike James in 10th. We've lost Gary Lenton, 3.64, down on the Nottingham Road bend. Now it's Blue Tops first and second. It's also Blue Tops 4th and 5th, but Paul Harrison right in amongst them in number 2 is running third. Mark Gilbank's lost some time on the home straight in 21, and Wally Pittham's parked up on the Nottingham Road bend in 134. Hodgson still leads from Potter with Harrison third, and there's a gap opening up behind Harrison now as Des Chandler leads the rest of them. Junior Wainman and John Lund are using their bumpers as they come through the field. Rob Cowley's still in touch with them, and so is Mike James. Andy Hodgson motoring hard and trying to make up the ground from his early spin out in the 272 car. He's on the back end of the pack. And still Hodgson leads in 172 from Potter 146 and Harrison number 2. Bobby Burns' front bumper being put to good use on the Nottingham Road turn in 471 as he moves up the places. Mark Duxbury battling with Andy Maynard down the home straight. But those are minor places. The lead man on track is just behind them, and we're coming to the halfway stage this time round with Stevie Hodgson the leader in 172. So off the pit turn and on the home straight at the halfway, it's Hodgson the leader, 172. John Lund in second place now in 53 with Des Chandler third in 213, Junior Wainman fourth in 515, then Paul Harrison fifth in number 2. So John Lund making his bid to move through, and Grand Prix points at stake with Lund leading the series. This is one he desperately wants. Still Hodgson leads the way in 172 with Lund trying to close him down in 53. On the pits turn they come, and that looks like Andy Clark gone to the infield in 169 from the home straight. Hodgson from Lund with Chandler third and Junior Wainman 4. Paul Harrison is 5, Rob Cowley 6, Mike James 7, Bobby Burns 8, Warren Hunter 9 and Russ Humphrey 10. And that's how we go through. Round about two-thirds distance, and it's Hodgson in 172. One back marker between them. That back marker was Andy Maynard. Lund has nudged him aside. And he's beginning to put the pressure on Stevie Hodgson. Hodgson trying to shift those back markers from his path down on the pits turn, and Lund closes again on Hodgson and almost gets the bumper in. This time down the home straight they go, and there goes the bumper. And Lund is really piling on the pressure. They've got just 5 to run next time. And that's Dave Johnson gone to the wires down the home straight, and John Lund wants this one. The Grand Prix is almost at stake, and he's chasing hard after Stevie Hodgson. Through they come with 5 to run. Hodgson in 172 from Lund in 53. Junior Wainman there with them in 515, and Des Chandler is 4, Rob Cowley 5 and Mike James 6, and on the back straight Lund is through. Hodgson has a look at the fence and regains his composure back in third place. It's Junior Wainman now who's chasing London. Hodgson goes to the fence on the pit turn, and his Grand Prix hopes end in a shower of sparks down on pit turn. It's Lund the leader from Junior Wainman. And then it's Des Chandler next in line, and then Rob Cowley, and down around the pit turn they come as we go on through the closing stages. 3 to run this time through for Lund. Junior Wainman still working hard behind him. A couple of back markers in front of Lund. Barry Heath is one of them. He gets past Barry Heath and continues his progress on towards the checkered with Junior Wainman second. Des Chandler back in third, and a long gap back to Rob Cowley who's fourth. And it's 2 to run this time through for John Lund. Mark Duxbury gets the 1-2 from Lund up on turn 1. That's another back marker between first and second. Bobby Burns coming with a late charge through the field in 471, trying to get into the top 5. Off the pit turn and looking at the 1 lap to run sign, it's John Lund in 53. Down towards the pit turn he goes. The Nottingham Road turn, I should say, around that turn and onto the back straight. And Junior Wainman coming with a late charge as they go down to that pit turn, and there's the big one for Junior Wainman. There's 2 in a heap on the pit turn, and Junior Wainman's done it. He's took it on the last end and comes through and gets the checkered. The second man home is going to be Des Chandler in 213 with Rob Cowley third. Mike James comes home 4 and Bobby Burns 5 and Russ Humphrey 6 and Andy Hodgson 7 and Warren Hunter 8. Jim Potter comes home 9 and John Lund's not going to finish the distance. He and Gary Linton are hooked up on the pit bend fence, and that's it. The Reds please, Mr. Starter. Now put him to the top of the Grand Prix points because John Lund quite obviously didn't score in that final. 17, I think, was the difference between them in favour of John Lund prior to that race. And with 25 points at stake to the winner, I think Junior Wainman has gone to the top of the Grand Prix points. And all of this, of course, makes it well worth a trip to Boston Stadium tomorrow night, where the big money is at stake. And in stock car phraseology, John Lund owes Junior Frankie a big one. Well, there is Frankie receiving the trophy down on the start-finish line. Photographer Steve Botham running down the track, having done the business up with that pit bend shunt. Now comes to do the business on the start-finish line with our grand final winner. So around the raceway he goes, the winner of tonight's grand final from Silton West Yorks, 515, Junior Wainman. Racing laps, the last one of the night. And that's the green, and away they go. Oh, and a big shunt down on the back straight. We've got one over down there. Yellows are called for. We've gone wave yellow. And fortunately, the car's slowing down in plenty of time before they had chance to meet head-on with that car on its side down the back straight. And reds please, Mr. Starter. Full restart required for the Stock School Grand National Heats. National Heats, and they've got the green. So Junior Wainman setting off to chase the one-lap handicap and hopefully get amongst the double points as far as he's concerned. Owen Brown spins it on turn 2 in 200. Rest of them beginning to pile in. We've lost Johnny Aldridge down the home straight in 211. Neil Briggs backs into the fence on the Nottingham Road bend in 87. Now we look for the lead car coming through. And it's Michael Ives in 236 who leads them through from 213. There's Chandler. Craig Howarth has gone to the infield from the home straight very speedily in 52. Russ Humphrey's been out 113. He's back on as they go down to turn 4 where Neil Briggs cooked it in 87. Bounces the fence again. Big shunt down the back straight with one or two of them in trouble down there. 236, Michael Ives the leader. Stevie Hodgson parked across track in 172 down the back straight. And looks as though the fence has taken a hammering down the back straight as well. But back with the leader, Michael Ives in 236 it was last time round. And here he comes through on the home straight. And 213, Des Chandler has taken over from Michael Ives as they go to the back straight again. 213, Des Chandler first. Michael Ives second in 236. Frankie Wainman through into third place in 212. Chandler down to turn 1 from Ives second. Wainman in third place. Bobby Burns is fourth. Vic Jordan is fifth and Rob Cowley sixth. Glindaff 7 and Russ Humphrey 8. Trevor Davis in the fence on the pit turn now, 300. Stevie Hodgson sorted his problem out on the back straight, and he's away to the safety of the infield. Bobby Burns chasing Rob Cowley and Vic Jordan down the home straight as they battle for the minor places, with Des Chandler the leader in 213. Chandler clear by at least a quarter of a lap over Michael Ives in 2.36. Frankie Wainman in third place in 2.12. Rob Cowley and Bobby Burns are next in line. Glyn Daft in behind them, and then comes Russ Humphrey. So Chandler the leader on the Nottingham Road bend and clear from Michael Ives. Frankie Wainman just in behind Ives, who's had a problem there with back marker Mark Duxbury. It's cost Michael Ives his place. Frankie Wainman has gone second. And there is Chandler the leader, and that's the halfway stage. And into the second half we go with 2.13. There's Chandler leading from 2.12 Frankie Wainman. Michael Ives has now retired at the infield, leaving Rob Cowley third in 73 with Glyn Daft fourth in 96. Russ Humphrey in behind him, and then comes Bobby Burns. And then it's Junior Wainman on the back end of the top places now, riding about 8th from the one-lap handicap. Still Chandler leads the way in 2.13. A quarter of a lap back is Wainman in 2.12. And then it's Rob Cowley 3, Russ Humphrey 4, Bobby Burns 5, Junior Wainman 6, Glyn Daft 7 and Mark Webster 8. They've got just 5 to run next time round. There's Chandler just put Neil Brigg a further lap down in the 87 car as Chandler moves on down towards that pit turn. So towards the closing stages we go with 5 to run for Chandler and only about 8 cars left on the lead lap. Chandler the first of them in 2.13. Wainman second in 2.12. Rob Cowley third and Bobby Burns 4. Junior Wainman 5. Russ Humphrey 6. Glyn Daft is 7. And it looks to be Andy Smith in 8th place in 3.91. But immediately behind him on track it's Des Chandler 2.13. And those doing the chasing are making no impression on the lead that Des Chandler has. 2.12, Frankie Wainman running second, but about a quarter of a lap back. Junior Wainman's charge through has got him elevated to 5th place. And to improve on that, he's got to get the better of Bobby Burns and Rob Cowley. It's just what he's trying to do at the moment, as the lap boards show. And it's 2 this time through for Des Chandler in 2.13. Wainman second in 2.12. Rob Cowley third. Bobby Burns 4. Junior Wainman 5. Russ Humphrey is 6. Glyn Daft is running 7 and Andy Smith 8. Very little change in those top 8 places over the last few laps. And Des Chandler is on his last now in 2.13. Untroubled by those chasing. And under no pressure from the front as Junior Wainman chases Bobby Burns for one of the minor places. Off turn 4 comes Des Chandler in 2.13 to take the checkered flag. Second man home is Frankie Wainman with Rob Cowley third and Bobby Burns 4 and Junior Wainman 5. Russ Humphrey comes home 6 and the Reds are called for. And the clerk of the course asking for an immediate red there, so that's just what happens.